Hello guys, my name is Helena. I'm an English teacher. This video lesson is a part of my course on how to write IELTS essays. Let's begin. Lesson 6. In this lesson, I'll focus on one point only, and that is how to write body paragraphs. First and foremost, one really important thing that you need to remember before you open a new page and start writing is remember to follow your plan. I know it sounds like a silly reminder, but I've seen students write good plans and then ignore some parts of them or ignore the whole plan completely. This might happen because a lot of other ideas come into students' heads when they start writing and they go off their plan. Please remember to follow your plan when you begin to write your paragraphs. So, to write your body paragraphs, you need to first write a topic sentence. What is it? It's a sentence that expresses the key idea of your paragraph, and then write the supporting sentences and examples if necessary. Supporting sentences are the sentences that explain why your key idea is right, and example sentences may be used to give more information about the ideas from the supporting sentences. Mind that example sentences are not actually necessary for every paragraph. It's possible to write good paragraphs with supporting sentences only and without examples. However, it is easy to develop paragraphs with the help of examples, so they are generally recommended. Let's have a look at these steps closer. First, how to write a topic sentence. Let's take the same prompt that I've been using in this course. Obesity has become a serious health issue worldwide. Discuss ways to solve the problem. And I want to bring back and look at the plan that I wrote for this essay. I'll start with body paragraph 1. And for the topic sentence of my body paragraph, I'll use this formula. First, I'll think about the task, then the topic, and then my key idea. This is the beginning of the formula that I used to write my plan for this essay. I spoke about how to write a plan of an essay in lesson 3 of this course. If you need, you can come back to that lesson and review it. So that's the formula, and my ideas were as follows. I focused on the task, and the task is discuss ways to solve the problem, and I wrote one way to solve the problem of, and what is the problem here is it's obesity. The problem comes from the topic of the prompt. And then I came up with my main idea or key idea, which was address the main cause of obesity, unhealthy habits. Basically, this is my topic sentence already. What I need to do is to frame it now with the help of vocabulary and grammar. Before I do that, here are a few tips for you guys. First, remember to paraphrase. When I was planning, I used the same words in my plan as in the task and the topic. However, when you begin to write your essay, it's always better to paraphrase in order to show the examiner that you have good vocabulary and grammar. So this takes me to tip number 2. Now, show off your grammar and vocabulary. Your ideas are already sorted, or the content of your sentence is already in front of your eyes. Now is finally the time to show the examiner what grammar and vocabulary you know. Here is how I wrote my topic sentence. One possible strategy that could help tackle the problem is for governments to address obesity's main cause, which is unhealthy eating habits among the general population. I followed my tips, of course. Notice how I paraphrased the task and the topic from my plan to my topic sentence. One possible strategy that could help tackle the problem. In terms of grammar, to show off, I used two relative clauses here. One of them starts with that, and another one starts with which. Also, I used an infinitive clause introduced with the help of preposition for in my topic sentence. For governments to address obesity's main cause. Now that's a real show off. If you know how to use infinitive clauses like that, use them. If not, then it's okay to just use sentences with connectors like which or that. Regarding vocabulary, as I already mentioned, I paraphrased and used the word strategy instead of the word way. And I also used the word tackle instead of solve the problem. Also, at the end of this sentence, I could have just used the word people, but it's a very common word and I don't think it would impress the examiner that much. So I used a less common expression, which is the general population. And that's how you write a topic sentence, guys. Let's move on to supporting sentences now. How to write supporting sentences. Let me bring up the prompt and the topic sentence of my first body paragraph. Now, to write the supporting sentences, I'll again look at the plan that I had written before and my supporting ideas for that plan. They were education via social media and local health, local sentence, direct work with people. Of course, I've got a few tips for you again. Tip number 1 is the same as for the topic sentence. Show off your grammar and vocabulary. Tip number 2 goes, explain carefully what you had in mind when you were planning the essay. Why am I giving this tip to you? Because one of the most common mistakes that students make here is that their supporting sentences are underexplained and underdeveloped. For example, looking at my ideas, I could write, education via social media is important. Also, health centers could work with people directly. And if I wrote this, I would have a low score for my coherence because those sentences would not be connected to my topic sentence. I mean, to understand the connection of education and addressing people's eating habits, the examiner would have to turn on their imagination and guess that if people were educated via social media on their eating habits, this way the issue of obesity would be addressed. But you should not make the examiner or any other reader of your writing do any guesswork. If the reader of your writing has to guess what you were writing, what you were trying to express, that means that your writing is poor. So think about your ideas and explain them carefully. The same logic applies to the second idea here about health centers. The idea is underdeveloped and the paragraph altogether would get a low score. So I'm going to remove that. And I actually tried to explain my ideas well, and this is what I wrote. It is important to educate people on how they can change their diets so that they can lose weight and not gain it again. This could be achieved via government-funded social media accounts, which would give nutritional advice to the public in an engaging and entertaining way. Additionally, local health centers could work with their residents directly giving them proper dietary instruction and explaining its benefits. I explained my first idea here with the help of 2 sentences. My first sentence introduces the idea of education. It is important to educate people on how they can change their diets so that they can lose weight and not gain it again. And this sentence is logically connected to the topic sentence because I'm talking about losing weight, not gaining weight. So I'm still talking about this topic. Then the next sentence further explains this idea. This, meaning education, could be achieved via government-funded social media accounts, which would give nutritional advice to the public in an engaging and entertaining way. Again, this sentence is also connected to my topic sentence. It gives the method by which the problem of obesity can be addressed. Namely, it is government-funded social media accounts that would give nutritional advice to the public. Next, I wanted to introduce a new idea about local health centers. And to do that, I used a linker in my paragraph. Additionally, this would let the reader know that I am not going to continue developing the idea of the previous sentence, but I am going to write about another idea. And I wrote about my second idea. Local health centers could work with their residents directly, giving them proper dietary instruction and explaining its benefits. Still, this last sentence, even though I introduced a new idea, it is still connected to the topic sentence because it explains how the cause of obesity can be addressed in a different way. Now, generally, the development of ideas is quite a difficult task because, of course, the sentences that you write will make sense to you in your head, but they may not make sense to other people. One thing that you could do here for practice is write or translate your paragraphs in your native language and ask a friend or a relative to read them and give you feedback. If they understand your paragraphs, then you're on the right track. To sum up a little, let's have a look at my essay so far. Here is the topic again and the task. And this is my introduction. This is the first body paragraph that I wrote. Of course, I wrote the second paragraph, and in this paragraph I also followed all of the tips that I had previously mentioned. Here is the paragraph. Another approach to decreasing obesity is providing pupils with healthy and balanced meals at schools, as well as teaching them on the importance of a healthy diet. At the same time, unhealthy snacks such as potato crisps, chocolate bars, or sugary sodas could be banned from being sold on school grounds. These 3 measures would not only help reduce childhood obesity, but would also help children develop the right dietary patterns necessary to make correct food choices in the future. As a result, these children would go on to become adults who are informed and educated about their diets and unlikely to be obese. In the second body paragraph, I also used examples in my supporting sentences, which I didn't do in the first paragraph. The examples are introduced here with the help of such as, let's have a look at them. The examples are such as potato crisps, chocolate bars, and sugary sodas. Now there's only one paragraph left to write. This paragraph is the conclusion, and I'll talk about it in the next video, in the final lesson of this course, lesson 7. And this is the end of lesson 6. I hope you liked this lesson and found it useful. If you'd like to see more lessons like this on this channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. See you in lesson 7!